In Algiers, we have François Hollande in the studio. James Creedon, this is Media Watch. We're starting with François Hollande's visit to Algeria, which, of course, is making lots of waves.
That's right. A lot of talk about would he repent on behalf of France for the Algerian war? The answer is no. That was a question that was kind of left hanging in midair. Let's take a look at the cartoon by Le Monde cartoonist Plantou on this. Repentance, excuses, visas. Do we have that cartoon? What you can see there, what they're trying to say in this cartoon essentially is that Algerians on the ground are more interested, perhaps some of them anyway, in any case, about visas for France than excuses. Here you have Bouteflika saying, "Oh, get me a fan." In other words, he feels faint on discovering that François Hollande is not going to apologise on behalf of France. There was a fire at the famous French-built post office. That was an image that was shared. It's still kind of a mystery as to why that happened, but that image has been shared a lot on social media. Slate Africa, slateafrique.com, quite a good website. Here they're talking about how internet users are not really that interested in Hollande's visit. In fact, it's a visit from this journalist's point of view that is more interesting to the governments in question than the actual peoples represented by those governments. Ce vieux couple qui nous fatigue, this couple that exhausts us, this old couple. And what Kamel Daoud is saying there is that it was the same for Chirac. It was the same in the time of Sarkozy. The president comes very early on after being elected. He dines with Bouteflika. There's a whole series of events that he always does. He addresses the parliament. He speaks to business leaders. He meets students who want to come and study in France. And bref, yawn, you know.
What's interesting, Bouteflika's there all the time.
Bouteflika's there all the time.
Very long-lasting leader.
That's right. And one final image, Hollande's tie askew as ever. He always has his tie askew, it seems, and a lot of people were tweeting about that, saying, "Oh, can he not just get it right?" #fashion.
I thought a tie could be kind of just slightly off the centre, sort of kind of style of a true gentleman. That's what I always believed and was brought up to believe.
Maybe that's what he's going for.
I don't know. I think they should cut him a bit of slack on that one. Maybe another guy who maybe they should cut a bit of slack to is that Gérard Depardieu. And his amazing presence. He's got some support from an unlikely source in his battle against his tax exile woes.
Rael, who was a cult leader, I think we have a photo of him here. He always has his hair kind of swept back in a sort of a bun. And
That's
he wears
a bun
white
on the top
suit.
there, yeah?
He wears a white suit. So he's a charismatic character, not taken very seriously.
Perhaps not the kind of backing Depardieu would like.
No, a cult leader who believes that he was abducted by aliens and all that sort of stuff. Maybe he was, right? But I don't think Depardieu wants
Does he have a backer that he would rate?
Brigitte Bardot, glamorous.
Well, that's a good name.
Glamorous, and I think we have images of her in her glamorous heyday. But of late, she has lost some of her credibility by coming out with some far-right statements, and also by being best known really for being a kind of a really passionate animal rights activist. And Gérard Depardieu is a known bullfighting supporter, and she in the past has lambasted him for that. So now she's saying, you know what, leave Gérard Depardieu alone. He's had an unjustified acharnement, or kind of charges against him.
Sure.
Leave him alone. He's entitled to flee the country if he wants to for tax purposes.
I think Brigitte Bardot gets my vote any day. Okay, finally, the Elysée has a new website, and Nicolas Sarkozy appears to have been expunged, erased, taken off.
Kind of crazy, isn't it?
Doesn't exist.
The Elysée should be not just the Elysée website. One would imagine should not just be for the incumbent, but for the predecessors.
You'd think there'd be a page-marked history. You can look at who all the other presidents were.
Do you know if you do a search on Sarkozy? Let's take a look at this on the computer. You search Sarkozy, aucun résultat trouvé. Right?
No.
Now, another weird thing on the website, here it is, you have François Hollande's agenda. Now, if you go to Friday, right, that is this coming Friday, he has a reception at 11, a reception at 1500 hours, but Saturday, if we click on it, Saturday, that doesn't seem to be, but there it is, nothing, Sunday, nothing, Monday, nothing, Tuesday, nothing. Now, the thing is, this would lend some credibility to the conspiracy theorists who claim that the end is nigh.
The end of the world.
The end is nigh. I think, I don't have the image that I was going to show at the end, but his diary stops on Friday the 21st.
That's the end of the world according to the Mayan calendar, that's it.
And the Elysée website, although I think they're going to update it on Friday.
We hope so. Well, James, thanks to you, thanks to Brigitte Bardot, of course, in her heyday, and thank you for watching Media Watch.